think. I'm not sure how long it's actually been. The days are all a blur. I mean, I could check right now. When was the last time I was it was April 6th, 2 days ago. All right. So it was 2 days ago. Just thought I'd check in, see how you guys are. I might actually do an interview tonight. I'm trying to do an interview with someone in particular. Hey, Gracie. Walaikum salam. Peace be unto you as well. I'm trying to do an interview with someone in particular, but I want to keep it a surprise for you. It's not gonna happen tonight, though. That's not the interview that's gonna happen tonight. Hey, Jem, how's it going? But there is a specific lady who lives in Florida who is also she also does the same thing that I do, which is expose the whole targeted individuals program, gang stalking, all of that. And I love her videos, man. I mean, I have to be honest. When I listen to her speak, I feel like I'm listening to myself. She has a very similar way of seeing things you know, that I do. And she speaks the way I do. She has a belief system very similar to mine. I've been talking to her for a couple of days, you know. I've been hounding her. I've been messaging her. I don't do that. I don't usually do stuff like that. But I've been messaging her because I really wanted to talk to her. And I know it's tough for her to message me back because being in the same position that being in the same position as she is, the only difference is I have a much bigger audience, a lot more people messaging me. I can't respond to everybody, and sometimes people will message me and be very erratic and incoherent because they're emotional, which I don't judge anyone for, but sometimes it's just like I can't do it. I can't answer everyone, though I try to, but I can't answer everyone. So she hasn't been answering my messages, but I'm just sitting here like I want to talk to you because I watched her videos and everything, and I'm just like we should talk. We need to talk. So yeah, I've been talking to her. I tried to do an interview with her yesterday on YouTube Live. It didn't work. We tried on Instagram Live, and it also did not work. Her audio kept cutting on and off, which is a good thing because afterwards I tried to save the live on my phone. Didn't even work. So I figured it's a good thing that it didn't work because I thought it was gonna work. You know, like as soon as you finish a live, it says, would you like to download the live? And I clicked download. Nothing. So, uh, anyways, as soon as we're able to get it to work, we'll do an interview. But I'm super excited. I have to be honest, I haven't been excited about an interview as much as I have about this one. This is something that, this is someone that, it's not like someone who's been going through gang stalking that wants to share their story and I'm just like, let me give you a platform. This is someone that I want to talk to. So it's really exciting for me. I have a lot of admiration for her because she does what I do. Not a lot of people who do what I do, but she does. Hey, C-Stay, how's it going? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had a pretty good day. I'm glad to be there. It's 1 a.m. in my time. Whoa. Where is everyone? Well, I just got on here like 3 minutes ago, so I'm pretty sure people are gonna start rolling in. Oh, there we go. I was right. People are rolling in. Sty Excel, I think you were in the live I was trying to do with her yesterday on Instagram. It's sorry, something essentials. Let me just find her, Jennifer. Elevated Essentials on Instagram. Her page is Elevated Essentials. Her name is Jennifer. She's great. I mean, we're gonna do this interview. I'm not gonna let her go. I'm going to get that interview from her. I want to talk to her. She speaks so well. She really she's great. She's You guys are gonna love her. She's great. She's great. Um, and she does amazing work. She makes videos every day, just like I do. She makes videos every day, but she's on Facebook, you know, and she does videos every single day exposing the the program. So yeah, you were there. There was like three people on the Instagram. I don't have a big following on Instagram. I have a big following on YouTube. I have a much bigger following on TikTok, even though I'm almost never there. I think I've done like four lives on TikTok in 6 years, but I have a really big following on TikTok. I have no followers on Facebook, which I would like to change very much. And I have like about 1,000 followers on Instagram. So there was not a lot of people in my live, but there are a few people that I'm looking to interview soon. There, I might do an interview tonight actually with someone else. I'm not sure. It's a lady I'm talking to at the moment. Her name is Ali, and hopefully we'll be able to do the interview. She says she should be free around 9 p.m. So I'm gonna, turn this off at around 9 and try to talk to her, see if we can do an interview tonight. Um, yeah. K Divine. Yeah, I checked out her page. I checked out K Divine's page. I did. Um, Man, there's this video I put out with Amina, the interview with Amina, part three. Amina explains the gang stalking tactics used against her. For some reason, this video has a lot of views. I really like Amina. I was talking to Amina today. I've been checking on her because ever since we did the interview, she lost her job. And she's been talking about that on TikTok. So I've been checking on her pretty regularly just to see how she is. Let her know, hey man, somebody cares about you. Don't ever let yourself be fooled into thinking that you're like lost in oblivion. Like I care. I think about you. I pray for you, you know? And the video that I put out with Amina, every time I put out like a part of the interview, an edited part of the interview, like a short form version, I send it to the people who are part of the interview just so that they can see it. And if you don't like something, I'll change it. If you want me to take it down, I'll take it down. Um, so I always touch base every single time I put out a video. I haven't done that with AJ, I think, but I've done that with pretty much everybody else. But it's only because AJ has a YouTube page, so I know he's like fairly comfortable with anything that he says being put out because he talks about it on his YouTube page. So there's that, but yeah, it's been doing great. I have a hard time breaking the 500 views cap on my videos, but right now it's sitting at like 900 views and it's going up. I mean, I think it's really great. And even some of my friends and family who don't necessarily support what I do. I mean, they're not part of my gang stalking or anything like that, but they don't really support what I do. Some of them saw the video and they liked it, and I'm just sitting here like, well, that's weird. I thought it was strange, and when I sent it to Amina, she saw part one and part two, and she didn't really comment on it or anything like that because I just sent the link to her so she could see it. But then when I sent her part three, she was like, "This is really well done. This is really cool." And I was like, "Hey, thanks." And then lo and behold, the numbers just blew up. I'm really happy about that. Honestly, I have to say, I'm really happy about that. Um, more, people people have been getting it into their recommended. Um, People have been, browsing for the words gang stalking and stuff like that, and it just pops up. I'm looking in my analytics. So, more eyes on my page equals more exposure of the gang stalking and targeted individuals program. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't know if you guys notice I have some different glasses. I just remember, like, I have a little scratch on the glasses I usually wear. And I just remembered when I bought my glasses, I bought three pairs. Well, I bought two and I got one for free. This is the one I got for free. And I was just looking through like a drawer and I saw a box of glasses and I was like, oh, right. I have a double of the glasses I wear. And then I opened it. I opened the box and I thought it was a double, but it was these glasses. And I was like, oh, I have three pairs of glasses. This is great. So I just put this on. Oh, Ali. Sorry, just a second. Ali just wrote a comment on my page. I really hope that she does the interview with me tonight. That would be really awesome. But yeah, like when the clock turns to 9, I will be leaving to speak to Ali. Said, why would a friend turn and do this to someone? How do they get into it? I have so many questions. Yeah. So Ali was saying that the interview will be more her asking me questions because she doesn't understand the gang stalking program at all. And I'm just like, hey, if you have questions, I have answers for sure. But I want to hear about your experience. It's still like very new to her. She's kind of just finding out that she's being gang stalked, which is a really good perspective to get an interview from. So I'm gonna read some of you guys' comments because I've been talking. I mean, I'm like just realizing now that hey, you're going off. It's been like 8 minutes of you nonstop talking. Shut up. All right, let me read your you guys' comments real quick. All right. Hey, C Stay, how's it going, man? Uh, I just treat those voices like aliens studying us as they start to provoke me into an endless conversation. That's good. That's good. You should treat them like you should treat them as such. These people are just they're trying to evoke a reaction out of you. That's really all that they want. That's their entire goal. Um, don't give them any attention. Don't interact with them. Nothing they say has any value whatsoever. Aliens are demons and fallen angels. I don't know anything about aliens. She got forced out of her job. Typical gang stalking. Yeah, she did. She got forced out of her job. Yeah, because they were trying to get her to quit her job, and she was like, "I'm not leaving." And I told her, I wrote a comment on her page. I was like, "Don't quit that job. Do not quit that job. If they're gonna fire you, make them fire you, but do not quit that job." And she's taking it really well. She's staying strong. She was going through like a bunch of different emotions, and she shared it on TikTok, and I was really admiring her courage in being so open about her experience. And I watch all her videos, honestly. I mean, there are certain people that I just kind of gravitate to, and she's one of them. And I really was invested in what was happening to her. I hope I hope the interview we did together is not why she got fired. I know she was having issues already before me, so I don't think so. But either way, it's like they were gonna do that anyways. But yeah, she's staying strong. I sent her a couple of this morning. I think yeah, this morning I sent her a couple of encouraging words. So Maybe I'll ask her to do another interview. Why not? Would you guys like to have Amina again? Because I didn't even finish the interview I did with her. She had to go. She was it was Ramadan, so she was fasting, and as soon as the sun went down, she was like, "I gotta go. I'm starving." So I I let her go. But she said she wanted to continue the interview, and I would really very much like to. But I'm realizing now that I haven't asked her. Maybe she's like, and she's been doing videos, so maybe she's like super psyched to get back to like doing the interview. I don't know. I'm gonna ask her. And we've been talking almost every day, and I didn't ask her. I'm gonna ask her. They're out of the world thinking, trying to study human race. Yeah, I think AJ encouragement videos helped me a lot. Yeah, AJ is a very positive brother. I love his videos. I often comment on his videos. He's also one of the person I gravitate towards, which is really funny because I remember the first video I saw, the first video I saw of AJ, he just popped up on my recommended page. And I just saw this brother, Gangstalk talk with AJ, and I'm like, oh, let's see what he has to say. And he starts talking, and he's talking about his life story. And I remember writing in his comment section, I feel like I'm listening to like, someone. I feel like I'm listening to someone talk about my life story. And then he responded back, and he was like, "Hey, man, I love your channel. I started my channel because of you." And I was like, "For real? That's nuts." You know, I didn't expect him to say that, but then I was like, "Let's do an interview, man. Let's talk." Um, so I mean, I gravitate towards like-minded people, and I'm telling you, this girl Jennifer, she's great. She's awesome, man. She's really awesome. I can't wait till you guys get to meet her and to hear her talk. She is awesome. I'm super excited about doing an interview with her. It's not going to happen today, unfortunately. Today's interview, if we do one, will be with Ali. But I'm very excited about doing the interview with Jennifer. She's amazing, guys. Anyways, it's very important to have spare ones. Spare ones? Spare what? What do you mean spare ones, Jem Jem? Do you do interviews only on Instagram? No, I never do them on Instagram. I always do them here. I just couldn't do one on Instagram because she was on. I couldn't do one on YouTube because she was on her laptop, and your YouTube Live won't allow you to do lives from a laptop. It can only be done from a tablet or a phone. And then her phone the audio kept cutting, so I was just like, oh man, forget it. It's like I can't do an interview with you if your audio keeps cutting in and out. It's just gonna frustrate people. They're gonna try to figure out what you're trying to say. So we'll figure it out though. We'll get it together. They don't know right from wrong. Why bother? Hmm. I'm so ready for the part we can just build a real physical community where we can offer each other housing, funds, medication, counseling, trips, adventures, prayer circles. Yeah, I think it'll have to come to that, you know. Oh, spare glasses. Yeah, spare glasses. You're right, Jem Jem. It's very important to have spare ones. I've learned that lesson. Which is why I bought two in the first place, and then I found out that I would get one free if I bought two. So I have three pairs of glasses now. But it's very important to have spare glasses. Very important, indeed. And I got my glasses for like super cheap. Um, I just like called the place where I got my glasses last time for like $400, and I told them, send me my prescription, and they did immediately. They just sent me my prescription, and I just ordered online, and they're perfect. I mean, I think these look all right. I really like my other glasses, but then again, I think it's just because I'm so used to them. Every time I buy new glasses, I always hate them for like a week, and then oh my God, these are great. So maybe you guys like these better, and maybe I'll like these better in like a week. But right now, I don't like them. But I do think they look like Malcolm X's glasses, which is not a bad thing considering. Hey, Cosmic Queen, how's it going? How are you? I'm glad you're here. Um, Found your channel today. Commented, then boom, caught alive. Hey, man, I'm glad you're here, Scribe of Yahweh. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, where have you been, Cosmic Queen? Not getting notifications. I'm suppressed. That's how it works. Gracie, everyone got a community, but we are making progress. It's just we need it desperately than others. Yeah, maybe one day, eh? Maybe one day. Sunny sells cheap frames and I just upload the RX. AI, the prescription, yeah. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Just not on Zenny. I don't know what Zenny is, but I bought these for really cheap. Really cheap. Crazy cheap. Thanks, Cosmic Queen. I like them too. Hey, Cat. Cat Branchman, how's it going? Good evening to you as well. That pair looks nice on you. Thanks. Thank you. Glasses shop is where I got my last pair, and they're good too. I do like Zenny too. I'll check out Zenny then for next time. It does look like Malcolm X glasses. He's one of my favorites. Malcolm X is my, like, I would say my top three revolutionaries. Number one is Fred Hampton, for sure. Number one is Fred Hampton. Number two is Malcolm X. Who would be number three? I can't decide between Edward Snowden and Julian Assange. I think it's Edward Snowden. Yeah, it's Edward Snowden. It is. It's Edward Snowden. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely Edward Snowden. MLK. I mean, I like MLK, but I would not say that he's part of my top three revolutionaries. MLK was a bit too. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't find it. I can't find the word I'm looking for. I don't want to tarnish MLK's legacy. You know, I think he was a great man. Obviously, he was a great man. Very obviously. I just think, much like he said himself, conforming. I wouldn't necessarily say conforming, but much like he said before he passed away, he said in his own words, he said, "I feel that I may have led my people astray." There is a revolutionary, Kwame Kwame Ture. Kwame Ture, Trinidadian American activist. Kwame Ture spoke of the importance of understanding that expecting compassion from your abusers. I can't remember exactly what he said. I'll find the quote. In order for nonviolence to work, your opponent must have a conscience. That's what he said. In order for nonviolence to work, your opponent must have a conscience. And Martin Luther King was very much nonviolent. On the other hand, Martin Luther King was very much by any means necessary. And I am much more of the opinion of by any means necessary. Because I didn't start this. I didn't ruin anybody's life. I didn't impede on anyone's privacy. I didn't start this. You can call me whatever you want, label me whatever you want. I didn't start this, right? So I would say that Kwame Ture is probably number four. I just like Edward Snowden because he used to work for the NSA and he saw what was happening and he knew what would happen to him if he spoke up. He understood it, but he said, "What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter." And you have to understand that he's not like he wasn't a high-ranking member of the NSA in comparison to others. He had the same information that a whole bunch of employees at the NSA have. And these people are fine with the NSA spying on innocent people. He was the one employee who said, "No, this is wrong. I don't care how you flip it. I don't care what the law says. I don't care what law you have passed in order to make this legal. Is it right? No." And he decided to act upon that. So I would definitely say that Edward Snowden is third on my list of revolutionaries. I like my favorite revolutionary is definitely uh, by far, by far. Why can't I remember his name right now? I just said it. I'm sorry. Fred Hampton. Um, wow, I just said his name. Fred Hampton is definitely my favorite revolutionary because he was able to team up with his enemies and he built the Rainbow Coalition. It doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter if you're racist, it doesn't matter if you don't like me because I'm black. We have to come to an understanding that I'm not your enemy and you're not my enemy. We can worry about whatever problem we have between you and I, we can worry about it later. We have a common enemy that is very much invested in keeping us fighting amongst each other. So, and I often say that, I don't care if you're racist. I really could care less. I don't care if you don't like black people. I don't care if you don't like white people. I don't care if you don't like whoever. I don't care. You're not my enemy. Are you impeding on my privacy? Are you trying to destroy my life? Are you working on a smear campaign? Or is it just that you don't like me because I'm black? I don't care. I do not care. It does not matter. You are not a problem to me. You are entirely allowed to not like me because I'm black. Racism is ignorance. Gang stalking is a criminal offense. You feel me? So I very much admire Fred Hampton for that. He was able to get people together who hated each other. And of course, he was unalived by police while in bed with his then pregnant wife. She survived, thank God, but Fred Hampton was drugged that night, so he was in bed and he never woke up. I really love black scholars regardless. So do I. So do I. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like MLK. I think MLK is a great man. Like I said, it's just he was a little too. He was not. Um, he was not Malcolm X enough for me. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, right? Malcolm X's philosophy was by any means necessary. I mean, of course, he was a bit more peaceful at the end, and MLK was a bit less peaceful at the end. Perhaps meeting somewhere in the middle is what we should do, I guess. In the meantime, Malcolm X. Do you guys realize that depending on level of surveillance, we can suffer from PTSD? My body is breaking down because of excessive cortisol due non-stop surveillance, hostility, sabotaging. Yes, yes. I mean, we have to find ways to release stress, or it will age us very quickly. I mean, I'm laughing about it, but it is true. Being constantly under stress is it's a form of death by a thousand cuts. So it's very important to find ways to let go of stress and to be able to sometimes focus on positive things. So that is true. Siege Drive was absolutely. I think everyone in the TI community has some level of CPTSD, for sure, no doubt. Thomas Sankara, he is one leader that I have grown to respect. That is a name that I have not heard much about before. Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. I've not heard of Sankara very much before. I know the current president of Burkina Faso is Ibrahim Traoré, who is born on the same day as me, but he's a year younger than I am. He looks great for his age. He looks like a young man. Anyways, he's a year younger than I am, and he's the current president of Burkina Faso, and he's very revolutionary. Very revolutionary. So I love that for Burkina Faso, but hopefully he's got some good security. Not just what? Not just PTSD, even CPTSD. It never stops. No time to take a breath or work through the emotions complex. PTSD is part of the program. It absolutely is. Malcolm X, by any means necessary, was reading about it earlier. Yeah, by any means necessary. By any means necessary, and he meant that. Evil people don't care, no conscience with them. That's a fact. CPTSD even before all the tactics were revealed for what they are. Yes, I had complex post-traumatic stress disorder from just being raised by a malignant narcissist. I did, very much so, yeah. Not sure, Cosmic. Over time, that just continues to be fueled within you despite your internal efforts, but your environment is completely whacked out of normal orbit. That's for sure. It's like we're living in outer space, but on Earth with others. Edward Snowden and Fred Hampton are great revolutionaries. They absolutely are. Two of my favorite. Fred Hampton is first place, in my opinion. Malcolm X second, and Edward Snowden definitely third. The last of the top three, but definitely not the least. Because what he's done is recent. And there's not a lot of people that have the character, the courage to be revolutionaries nowadays. Fred Hampton was so young. Anyone with aspirations and the God-designed gift to lead people unto righteousness are taken out That's facts. Fred Hampton was 21 when he was taken out. Can you believe that? He was 21. You know what I was doing when I was 21? I don't even remember. That was a long time ago. Oh yeah, I was beginning to get gang stalked. Yeah, but 21. The Harvard study on the dangers of surveillance. It's a good read. People that know they're being watched act better. That's why they put them on streetlights and in stores. Yeah. There was a AI CEO, Larry Ellison, the CTO of Oracle. What a great company, Oracle, isn't it? They just bought BET. His son just bought BET. Anyways, Larry Ellison was speaking on a stage to a crowd, and he was talking about how people will be on their best behaviors because we're monitoring everything, and it's a good thing. You want surveillance, constant surveillance of everyone, and you're just listening to this guy like, do you hear yourself? I mean, at first, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is a joke. It's a skit of some sort because I didn't know who he was. And then I found out who he was and how much money he's worth. And I was like, oh, this guy's worth $186 billion. He's serious. And he's not just serious. Whatever he's talking about, this kind of surveillance, he can make it happen easily. Easily. So I need to join a military support group and share some stories. You've been in the military, man? People who suspect they're being illegally surveilled will go crazy and break the law because they want someone to give them answers by any means necessary. Is that right? I don't know about that. And I've never heard that before. Thomas Sankara was a wonderful leader from Burkina Faso. I will study on him. I did not know that. I had not heard about this man before. I think our healing must come from our coming together, which is the very thing they don't want us to do. Yeah, they do not want us to get together. That's for sure. You got that right. We have a good group in here. We do. We sure do. Both Thomas Sankara and Ibrahim Traoré are military men with principles and integrity. Snowden is a national and global hero for those who understand the value of humanity. The value of humanity. You know, this every time I hear something like that, it reminds me of what Peter Thiel said during an interview. He was asked, sorry, he was asked, "Do you think humanity should survive?" And for like a good 20 seconds or so, he was just like, thinking. And I'm just like, this is a softball, man. Like, just say yes. And would you believe he said yes, but and immediate and if you've seen Game of Thrones, there was one passage where Jon Snow says, "My father," he was speaking of Eddard Stark, though Eddard was not his actual father. He's the son of Rhaegar Targaryen. But sorry, I'm taking you down a lore that you might not even care about. But what he said was, "My father taught me that everything a man says before the word but means nothing." So he said, yes, but everything he says after but really matters. The yes he said before but means nothing. He said yes, but what he means is what he says after but, not yes. Anyways. I also heard the CEO of Flock. You know these Flock cameras that they're putting up in cities, and people are taking them down. I wonder why. It's almost as if they don't want to be surveillanced. Strange. Why wouldn't you want that? But they're all over the UK, specifically in London, especially in London, and people are taking them down. They're taking saws and just taking them down. And the CEO of Flock called these people terrorists. That was that was interesting. I was like, we are. I mean, I say we, but I've never taken down a Flock camera, and um, I just thought this guy is putting up cameras to spy on citizens, and he thinks that citizens that are taking down the cameras that are spying on them, they're the bad guys, not you, who is setting up a system to spy on people 24/7 everywhere they go. And some people don't see it as a bad thing. They don't see the dangers of it, of the whole flock system and surveillance. They think, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, then it doesn't matter. And I always tell these people, you should really listen to what Edward Snowden has to say about that, because it doesn't matter that you don't commit crimes, or it doesn't matter that you think you're not a criminal. Your behavior can be criminalized. They have all the evidence in the world to build a criminal out of you without you doing anything at all. And with the gang stalking program, they can make you a criminal if they want to. They can put you in a position where you won't have a choice but to become a criminal. Even if it is just, for example, you become homeless and you start living in your car. That's a crime. I've seen people go to prison for that. It is a crime. Being homeless essentially is a crime. They've built a system that has so many traps that lead to poverty, and then they criminalize poverty. There's a special kind of cruelty that this world seems to enjoy. Anyways, let's not get too negative, right? Let's not be yeah, all right. I'm a chill. I'm a chill. Um, we need to get this message out so people will understand what's happening sooner, so they don't go crazy looking for answers. Yep, I was making a joke, but then I am worn out from this warfare. I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Palantir should be researched. Videos speak about how their technology is purchased by local companies, businesses, authorities, and governments. Palantir AI will flag people as threats. The smallest issues can cause them to be investigated, placed on a list. Yep. What about Shinua? Who? I've never heard of these people. I have never heard of these people. Nigerian novelist. I will research them. Oh, she's alive. I'll research these people. I've never heard of. We should all be feminists. Dear Ije Wele, or a feminist manifesto. The thing around your neck. Purple hibiscus. Americana. That's a title for you right there. Americana. I'll check her out. I'll check them out. These programs are just getting ready for the beast system. Mm, homelessness is a crime. It is a crime. It's a crime. Homelessness is has been criminalized. You can't sleep in your car. Like you can't park on the street and sleep in your car. It's illegal to like sleep in a park. I mean, say you're homeless. You're gonna go to a shelter. These places are horrible. Crime is rampant in shelters. You can't sleep outside. You're what's the word? Not littering, but sorry, English is not my first language. But yeah, homelessness is criminalized. Plenty of places where, you know, panhandling is not even legal. Hey, lead follower. Loitering. That's right, loitering. So thank you, Cosmic Queen. L'anglais n'est pas ma première langue. J'ai appris l'anglais uniquement quand j'ai eu 12 ans. I started learning English when I was about 12. I mean, really, we started when we were, in fourth grade, maybe, is when we started learning English. But no, but like it wasn't taken seriously here in French Canada. But when I turned 12 years old, I was like, I would like to learn this language. All these classes were useless. So then I started to actually make an effort to learn the language, but I'm not 100% proficient in this language. Though sometimes it may seem like it because I'm good at accents. I don't speak Spanish, but if I say words in Spanish, you'll think I'm Spanish or Latino. I can do accents pretty well, but English is not my first language. Can we criminalize emotional abuse and multi-perp stalking? It is illegal. These things are illegal. However, prove it. There was a bot. I had a bot on. I mean, I think he got to write like within the past 5 days, he got to like maybe 18 comments, 18 to 20 comments on my videos where he's just saying like, "Oh, you have no proof of this. You're hurting these people by interviewing them and furthering their delusions." He, today he wrote, "Look at yourself, man. You're talking about pink drinks and auditive testings. Get a hold of yourself. Go get some help." Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, his name is Marvin Bot. I'm guessing it's a bot account, but I just thought it was so funny. I kept reading his comments and I wasn't reacting to it. I just figured I want to see where how far he's gonna take this. And today I deleted him and I do regret it because I feel like he was gonna come up with some real gems. And you know, I shouldn't have deleted him. Anyways, but I just thought it was so funny how he really took like I mean, I'm guessing it's a bot account, but if it wasn't, right? This person is taking time out of their days to go to every single one of my videos and write comments to basically disparage me and make it seem like you know I'm worried about you. You should be ashamed of yourself for doing what you do. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, you wrote 20 comments on my page saying this essentially the same thing. I'm supposed to be. I thought that was so funny. I really wish I didn't. I didn't delete him because of me. I deleted him because I didn't want other people to, see his comments and get upset. I know how a lot of people get upset when they're being told to prove what's happening to them and being called liars. You start to talk about your abuse and somebody calls you a liar. That hurts. It actually hurts people. I mean, it doesn't hurt me anymore, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it didn't hurt me before in the past, but nowadays, when people, deny what's happening to me or tell me, stop talking about it, be quiet, you're hurting people who are suffering from delusion by confirming their delusions and things of that nature. I'm just like, you know, why would you ever think your opinion matters to me? Are you mad? You know? But I deleted him. I blocked him because I didn't want his comments to upset people that were reading the comments. But sorry, I have a dog hair on me. Um, but I really wish I didn't because he was very entertaining to me. I'm like, this dude has more comments than some of my, you know, most fervent subscribers on my videos. I mean, he's really going in. Anyways, I really wish I didn't. Can I unblock someone? Can I unblock? I think I'm gonna unblock him. Can I unblock someone on YouTube? Yes, you can. By removing them from your hidden users list. Oh, I'm definitely removing him from my hidden users list because he's in my hidden users right now. How do you remove someone from your hidden users list? Settings. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. I have to remove this guy. I mean, he was absolutely cash. Just love his comments. Uh, community, community. Oh, community moderation. Uh, hidden users. Where? I don't see no hidden users. User management. Standard moderator. Hidden users. There we go. All right. Ah, there's a lot. There's a lot of these people. I don't know why you're in my. This is someone I talk to. Why are they in my hidden users? I think I'm gonna remove everybody. I think I'm gonna remove everybody. Yep. Because I can't find them. I'm gonna remove everybody. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. I mean, there's a lot of people here that I know I didn't remove, or maybe I removed them by accident. I don't know what's going on. Golly, there's like over 100 people here. Oh, these are people that I removed from back in the days when I was doing Marvin Bot. Just found him. he's been re- he's been removed from my hidden my hidden users list. But I'm gonna try to remove everybody. I'm not removing this guy. This guy pissed me off. Chief Handler. I'm sure you guys have seen his lovely comments before. Anyways, I'll take care of that later. You're helping so many people. Don't listen to that BS. Never, never, never. It doesn't even affect me. How did you handle the smear campaign post narcissistic relationship? Pretty easily. I mean, I knew what to do, because I had been studying narcissistic personality disorder for so long before my breakup, for about for a good 6 months, maybe even more before my breakup. I was studying narcissistic personality disorder daily. So I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to happen. I wouldn't say that I wasn't shocked I wasn't still shocked by it, but I knew it was happening and I knew how to handle it. So all I did was just anybody that made me feel like that I got weird vibes from, or that I felt was being fake towards me, or anything of that nature, I just deleted them. Anybody that was a common acquaintance, or like a common friend, you know, the friend of my enemy cannot be my friend. I just deleted everybody, blocked everybody. I was just like, whatever friends we had, you can have them all. I'm not interested. I'm going to. I'm moving on. So that's what I did. That's how I handled it. Dispersed camping is legal. You can sleep in your car at any campground that offers dispersed camping, and it's free. I did not know about that. I don't think that this law applies everywhere, though. She really be making me feel like I'm a narcissist after everything she done to me since I was a child. Who are you speaking of, Littleton? Greetings, dear family. Greetings, Lawana. How you been? Free at some campgrounds, not all. You're helping some. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cosmic Queen. Some people don't have common sense. A lot of people don't have common sense. Quite a lot, actually. How can someone say that? I don't think he's real. I think he's a bot. But he's a very entertaining bot. I mean, he comes up with these like very intricate tactics to try to shame me into not posting videos anymore. And sometimes it's not even bots. I mean, his username has bot in it, right? So I'm just guessing he's a bot here. But the uh, the funny thing is he really like puts out these long form text to try to shame me into realizing that what I'm doing is wrong, and that I'm leading people astray, and that I'm ruining my own life with this campaign that I'm well this with this channel, right, talking about gang stalking. And I was just reading him like, wow, buddy, you like 18 comments, 18 paragraphs. I'm wasting my time. It's funny. It's funny. I can't help it. You know, 6 months ago, I would have read his comments and I would have been really offended, upset. I would have been heated, like hot in the face, you know? But today I read his comments and I'm just like, this is gold. This is really funny. This is very, because I know that people are paid to write comments, you know? And if you go on, don't do what I'm about to say, but if you go on Facebook and you join these targeted individuals groups, there's a bunch of people that will constantly, whatever post you look under, they'll constantly say things like, you people are so narcissistic, you think the world revolves around you. Like, who has time to spy on you and things of that nature? Who has time to like put effort into ruining your life? And I'm like, you have time to put an effort into writing a comment under someone that you think is delusional? The irony is funny to me. I can't help it. The irony is funny to me. You know, when the situation is right here, you can't see it for what it is. You're just offended by it, you know? But when you look at it from over there, you're just like, this is funny. You know, if you consider that this is not happening to you, or this does not have anything to do with you, and this person is speaking of you and your situation, but this person's opinion doesn't matter, it is funny. Objectively, this is funny, you know? So I'm unblocking a bunch of people. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe not. Who knows? But to me, it's funny because I mean, I'm not responding to you. That's not happening. But This is very humorous. Anyways, let me get back to the comments. Oh, it's 9. Let's see if Ali's available. I'm just gonna shoot her a message. All right. How can someone say, yeah? It's not even like a hurt. It's just like disappointment. Disappointment in who? Who are you disappointed at? Have you ever watched Roseanne's podcast? I think you'd really get a lot out of it. Ah, Roseanne. Roseanne is hot and cold for me. Sometimes she says stuff that I'm just like, yeah. And then I'm like, whoa, you're racist, Roseanne. That's not shocking at all when you think about it, but it's just like, I'm not listening to that. Roseanne is funny, though, I will say. I think she's a funny woman. Roseanne Barr, she's funny. I do also think that she's racist, but she is funny. You know what's insane? The program is worldwide and went overt in 2020. Any idea how organized you have to be to do that? The amount of money goes into this, the coordination. So many speaking out that this is happening, yet no one takes it seriously. I mean, when will someone wake up and help us? This is only shocking to people who have not studied narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic abuse. Gang stalking is narcissistic abuse, and if you've been through narcissistic abuse and you've tried to speak about it to other people and explain it to other people, you understand very quickly that unless you've gone through it, you can't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to you. Whether you're a narcissist or not, it doesn't really matter. Narcissistic abuse is something that most people will simply not believe because it's ridiculous. It's kind of like, why would someone do that? Why would someone spend so much energy into trying to destroy another person? That's so strange. You know, it makes you look narcissistic to think that someone is out there trying to destroy you. When in reality, that's the facts of it. That's the reality of it. And gang stalking is narcissistic abuse in an organized fashion or by proxy, which also happens with simple narcissistic abuse, but it definitely happens in gang stalking. That's pretty much all it is. The person that is orchestrating your destruction campaign usually doesn't do anything. They, send their pawns at you, their chess pieces at you. They set the stage, but they don't really dirty their hands. They're kind of like mob bosses, which is why the RICO Act is very apropos in this situation. Someone was asking you how old you were on Sunday, and I was like, on live stream, you are asking someone about their age. Well, I don't really mind. And the person that asked me was more than likely a perp, to tell you the truth. But I don't mind. I'm 39. I think it's all right. Yeah, I took off, then the world got trapped inside on their devices all year, online and watching TV with their Alexas and their home security cameras. They're stalking us. They are. The amount of money is insane, and it pisses me off that our tax dollars being used. So what, a universal slap? Yeah. Yeah. Our own tax dollars are being used against us. It's sort of like when a police officer messes with you or does something to piss you off or speaks to you in a disrespectful fashion. You're just like, I pay taxes. My taxes pay your salary. Why are you speaking to me like you're not a public servant? You know? And I don't mean to like be disrespectful towards police officers or anything like that. You know, I'm not taking a stance here. I mean, I do have a stance. I'm just not taking one at the moment. I'm just saying when a police officer is being disrespectful to you, you're just like, I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen. You're a public servant. If people if people disrespected you at the DMV the way that certain police officers disrespect you, you would be like, "Hey, man, like, what's up with you?" You know. Anyways, stalking in its nature is a predator hunting its prey, but God laughs at the wicked because nothing is hidden from him. Amen. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, grasshopper. Eh? I mean, the enemy of your enemy is your friend if you are intended on taking your enemy out. If not, the enemy of your enemy is his enemy, and that's his business. That's how I view it. But if you're planning on going after your enemy, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Amen. They really are just out and open with names. Oh, wait. Did she? No, she didn't message me back. Okay. Aren't they? Chief Handler. Yeah. Yeah, Chief Handler. If you're just who thinks that's funny, you're proving there are people who want to hurt people for nothing. Yeah, I mean, if you go on his YouTube page, he talks about targeted individuals getting in trouble with the law, going to prison, having awful things happen to them in prison as well. I mean, he's probably 12 to be honest, but I just saw his page and I saw his comments on other people's videos. He didn't comment on my videos, but I saw his comments on other people's videos and I was like, I'm blocking you. You know? Do you think women should act like men? Because I believe women too emotional. That's a that's an interesting question. No, no, no. I don't think women should act like men. I do believe that women are very emotional, perhaps too emotional, but I don't think women should act like men. No. That's a very interesting question. Let the perps watch, get them views up. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking at the time where I came to the realization I don't care what they write. This this has nothing to do with me. It only has to do with them. So at that point, I was just like, let them do what they do. Platforms with significant amount of subscribers should collaborate to plan a meetup. It takes money, and the money could definitely be put to good use for a targeted community. The issue with that is that I have a page that has 13,800 subscribers. However, my page is suppressed. So on videos I can get like I'll usually get somewhere between 100 and 300 views. 300 if I'm lucky. I mean, it's I've really been affected by this, and every single other creator is usually hit by that cap, except one, and I'm not gonna name her because I don't want to jinx her because I really think her page is great, and I hope it doesn't happen to her. So I'm not naming her. But people who do what I do are usually capped. So there's not a lot of money in doing what we do. Like, you know, I would say the amount of money I make here pays for my dog's food. there, or like a good part of my dog's food. It's not a lot, but I'm appreciative of it. Oh, I think there's a perp in here. Hey, AJ, what's up, man? In the bushes. I'm glad to see you here, man. I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. I love that video you just posted. I think I commented on it. Yeah, I did. I did. Um, he does not believe women should act like men. He has said in the past that doing this to women, making them hard and taking their softness is a major crime. I do think that. I do think that. I think targeting women and children. I'm about to. I was about to say something that was gonna get me banned on this platform. Wow. Um, I think there's a special place for people who target women and children. There. Yeah, I think various growth is a perp, but don't ban him. Please don't ban him. Uh, hey, April, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. She talks a lot about the situation. I almost think she's targeted individual. Lead follower, who are you talking about? Wait, Jem Jem, he does not. Oh, who are you talking about? Lead follower? Are you talking about um, Candace Owens? Danish Bashir, he breaks down narcissism well. I've listened to his videos before. He's pretty good. I mean, I've been running this page, the War Against Narcissism, for a couple of years before I started talking about gang stalking. So a lot of these people who talk about um, narcissistic abuse, these are people I used to talk to on a pretty regular basis. So I mean, I've never spoken to Danish Bashir before, but a lot of these people I used to talk to. There was one in particular I used to talk to, and turns out that he started participating in my gang stalking. But to be fair, he's not just a narcissistic abuse recovery coach; he's also a diagnosed narcissist. So it wasn't very shocking to see him participate in that. And then, when I figured out that he was doing it, I unfollowed him, and then the next day he unfollowed me as well, and that was fine. It's all good. Wait till you hit 40. What happens when I hit 40? What what happens when I hit 40? When you shared FISA Act, it blew my mind. Mm, blew my mind too. And Trump is going to vote on it this month. Should be around between April 13th and April 20th. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does. I think he's going to renew it, but that's just me. I was actually just watching The Boys, season 5, episode 1 right now, and I was just like, man, it's on point. Anyways, I'm kind of done with this whole narcissistic thing. It's all about them. They abuse you, yet you are to blame for it and don't speak out. Sheesh. Yeah. I mean, once you see them for what they are and you understand that, you know, talking to them it doesn't help anything, like it's not going to change anything. The only solution really is get away from these people, you know? You said something like that I was being funny. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm lost. I'm lost. Sorry. Cops coming over trying to impose their will over me has some serious issue. Maybe he choose passive aggressive behavior over being assertive against higher officer. Various growth. Let me put you in timeout. Be quiet. People are not aware of narcissism and don't take it seriously. Yeah, it's just the kind of thing that unless you go through it, you will never understanding. You will never understand it. You're creating awareness. It's not about the money. Yes, it's not about the money. And this page was running for 5 years before it was ever monetized. When I was doing my content for narcissistic abuse awareness, my page was never monetized. I've never seen a dime from gang stalking. My page began to get monetized only after I posted my first video. Well, not immediately after, but I posted my first video about gang stalking, about my experience, and I got like 40. I mean, it's sitting at 40,000 views right now, and that's when YouTube started sending me notifications for, hey, you can monetize this page, and then I was like, all right. But I've never done it for money or with the intention of making money. I didn't even have the intention of making this page about gang stalking. I just wanted to get my story out. That was it. When I made my first video, the video that's on my that's sitting on my like the first page, the home page of my YouTube page. When I made that video, I was just like, I need to get this story out because I don't know what's happening. I don't know these people are going to like, unalive me or what, but you know, who's being told what. But the truth is here. If you're looking for the truth, it's here. So that was my only goal. And then when I saw so many people responding to, I mean, I think there's like 2,000 comments, something like that, saying, me too, this is happening to me as well. And then I just posted that video on TikTok lately. Again, it's sitting at like 40 something thousand views with a lot of comments again. And, to this day, I'm still receiving, even today, I'm receiving comments, people saying, me too, this is happening to me. I'm in Ireland, this is happening to me. I'm in Israel, this is happening to me. I'm in Egypt, this is happening to me. Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Ethiopia. So after a while, I was just like, all right, I guess it's me. I guess I have to do this now because what other choice do I have? You can't see people suffering and you can't see corruption of this level and see people suffering to the point of being unalived and do nothing and expect that, oh, you're gonna go to heaven. That's not how that works. So I just figured, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm not interested in doing this, but somebody does have to do it. And you know, people were telling me like, oh, you have a really good like you express it very well. You explain it very well. So I just felt like I had to. That's right, VJ. It is. Thank you, Cosmic Queen. Thank you very much. My page is Jim says my page is about fashion because I believe women must look good and dress them up. I don't care about you don't care about what? You can't make sense with a narc, just get away from them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, Emir. People escape without any consequences. It really makes me angry. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, this is why I run this page is to shed light on the evil activities being done in the dark. Anyways, let me check if Ali is responding. She's not. She said she'll be free after 9, but it's 9 where I am. I don't know what time it is where she is. Let me ask her that. What time is it where you are? Because I'm sleepy. That's the advice. Get away from the narcissist. How? They are stalking me for 10 years now. Why are they so invested in me? I don't know them. They don't know me, although they watch me. Well, that's the advice. Well, no, Ali is not in Florida. I don't think Ali is in Florida. Jennifer is the one in Florida. But Jennifer hasn't written to me. We spoke earlier. She's great. You guys are gonna love Jennifer. She's really great. She's just like me, you know. Um, but yeah, when I speak about getting away from them, I'm talking about narcissists in your life. I'm not talking about gang stalkers. There is no getting away from gang stalkers, you know. Although gang stalkers are narcissists, um, I'm not saying get away from gang stalkers. I mean, if it was as simple as getting away from them, I would get away from them. You know, what I say when I say narcissist, I mean the narcissist in your life, the takers, the people who take from you and don't give anything back, the people who use you, who abuse you, and then blame you for the fallout. Uh, that's what I'm speaking of. I don't care about monetization. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about it. I mean, to be completely truthful with you, I might make like 30 cents off of a video, to be completely honest with you. Like that's like on a good day, you know. Like I said, this is paying for my dog's food, or like a good part of my dog's food, which which is good. So Japan is not safe. I'll tell you that right now. I have a friend on Facebook who is in Japan, and his profile picture says IMTI in Japan. Gang stalking happens in Japan as well. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You could take your ass to Alaska, Antarctica, the Arctic. Doesn't matter. It's everywhere. Look at you when you drive or walk. Is it me or it's weird how people look at you when you drive or walk? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I stare at people. I'm really impolite about that. I look at people. So I don't know. People think I'm weird. I have this really bad habit of looking in people's eyes and locking in. I saw this lady. I was with my wife at the pharmacy, and then I was walking to the post office because there's a post office inside the pharmacy. And I was walking there, and then I realized I forgot my wallet, so I went to go get her because I was mailing a letter, and I was like, "Give me your card," you know. And as I'm walking, I'm smiling because I'm like, "Idiot, you forgot your wallet." And I'm smiling, and I'm looking at someone, like some lady in her face, and she just smiled at me. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not smiling at you. I'm just staring at you because I stare at people." But, I'll accept the smile. It's a very nice smile. But in her mind, she was like, "Oh, this fella is really nice, smiling at strangers." And I'm like, "I wasn't smiling at you." In my head, I'm thinking I wasn't smiling at you. I was smiling at how stupid I am for forgetting my wallet. But I just happened to stare at you. So unfortunately, I can't like give you an opinion on that because I stare. I stare at people. I make people uncomfortable. I will stare, like I will stare at you. And I don't care if you're staring back. I'm staring. I think it's funny. Gang stalking in Africa. Yeah, it's pretty bad in Africa actually. It's actually pretty bad. I talk to people all over. There are some people in the chat that are in Africa. It's pretty bad. A narcissist will destroy your whole life and turn around and act like nothing happened. No, no, no. A narcissist will destroy your whole life and turn around and act like you did it. It's your fault. I believe there are demons and act like you don't see them, but I look like I see you, so. Hmm. They won't pretend it didn't happen, Jim Jim. They'll pretend everything they did to you, you actually did to them. 100%. Hey, Lorna, how's it going? How are you, Lorna? I'm glad you're here. Good evening, everyone. We don't move in fear. Hey, we don't move in fear. How's it going? How are you? I heard somewhere that 80% of YouTube content creator make 1,000 monthly on average. I'm not a part of that 80%. I'm definitely not a part of that 80%. I think I've been doing this for 5 months. I've made about maybe $300 in 5 months. I'm still happy with it. I'm still happy with it. I'm not complaining, but and I haven't been, yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So I don't make $1,000 a month. I haven't made $1,000 yet. So no. Wouldn't that be awesome? $1,200? Sorry, $12,000 a year added to the money I make every year. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. I mean, if I was not, I'll be honest with you, if I was not suppressed, if I was still getting the views that I was getting at the beginning when I first started my page, I probably would make $1,000, maybe, possibly, because usually I would get like 4 or 5 thousand views on average per video, and now it's like 100 to 300 views. So you might be right. You might be right if you're able to um, build an audience to the point where you can monetize. Then usually it means that you get about 5,000 views per videos, which if you put out videos regularly, sorry, it might mean uh, 1,000. What is the name again? Essentials Elevated Essentials on Facebook. Elevated Essentials. I think you'll be able to find her. But it's Elevated Essentials on Instagram, though. Maybe you won't be able to find her on Facebook. Let's see. Yeah, no, she's on Instagram. Elevated Essentials. Yeah, this is not her page. I'm looking at the Elevated Essentials page on Facebook, and that's not her. Or at least I don't think so. So it would be on Instagram. But worry not, I will have an interview with her, and it'll be great. She's awesome. You guys are gonna love her. I mean it. Thank you, C-Stay. I am doing this for the right reasons. I had someone write comments on my page saying, "Oh, you're not a real TI. You just popped out of nowhere talking about this gang stalking stuff. You're only doing this for the money." It's like, who the hell talks about gang stalking for money? Who the hell risks their lives, their reputation? Because everybody thinks I'm crazy. I post these videos, the videos I post on YouTube. I post them to my private Facebook too, like in my stories, stuff like that. People see them. My friends see this. They see this shit. They think I've lost it. You know, who would risk their lives exposing a secret intelligence psyop for $30 a month? Maybe, probably not even. Yeah, not even. Who would do that? Me? You think I'm dumb? Unbelievable. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. I mean, some people move to South America, Mexico, Central America. I've spoken to a lady that lives in Jamaica. She was saying it's rampant in Jamaica. I'm just like, Jamaica. It's nutty. It's really nutty. In Europe and France and Russia, Egypt, Portugal, Brazil, it's everywhere. They act like it's your fault. Yeah. Yeah. Are you still being gang stalked? Yes. Yes, I am. I absolutely am. Unfortunately, you know, actually, maybe I want to say 3 months ago. 3 months ago was the first time that they used direct energy weapons on me while I was driving. I am. I am still being gang stalked. Yes. The awareness is in the air, I believe. I think so too. I think so too. I think a lot of people, because the thing is, if you hear one person that you know speak about it, you think this person has lost it. This can't be right. You're not special enough to be gang stalked. You're not special enough to have people orchestrate your downfall in such a fashion. But if you pay attention long enough and more than one person you know speaks of this, or you have a guy like me who interviews people that it's happening to, and and you start seeing it, you go, okay, well, they couldn't possibly share a common delusion from, halfway across the earth that that couldn't be, right? But it is. Hey, baby. I didn't take it. It's upstairs. Yeah, I mean, Denise, thank you very much. But cool it with the compliments. My wife will kick your ass. Sorry. Uh, but no, it didn't come from a breakup. It's a law enforcement officer in the US that I had an argument with over on a Pitbull forum. And I could even see, like, in the chat room of this forum, they were doing it to somebody else. This guy just pulled up to the chat room and he was saying stuff like, "You guys are messing with my life. No, this is serious. You guys are, ruining my life. I'm gonna contact the FBI, blah blah blah." And I'm just sitting here like, what? What's going on? These people are in like different states. How can they be messing with your life, And I didn't understand what was going on. And lo and behold, now they're doing it to me. So these people were doing it to other people before they started doing it to me. But it has nothing to do with my ex. Like, she is a narcissist and she's not a good person, but it's not her. Yeah, it's funny. My wife was actually noticing a lot of white cars today too. Hold on, Ali is messaging me. Your brother was stalked, wasn't he, by some gang members? Is he still alive? My brother is alive, and yes, he was stalked by gang members. Saying someone is handsome is not flirting. I am a happily married woman. I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations on your how long you've been married. Congratulations on your marriage. Um, you know, I'm 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 not saying you're flirty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for using the term flirting. Um, but I'm only saying that my wife is very uh, she doesn't like me to use the word jealous. She's possessive. She likes to use the word possessive as if it's not the same thing. But yeah, my wife does not enjoy seeing uh, seeing me get complimented by other women. But I do thank you very much for the compliment. It's very kind of you, and I'm sorry for being presumptuous in saying that you were flirting. Hold on, Ali is messaging me. What time is it where you are? She's not answering me. All right, I'm gonna have to leave soon. Um, well, I think I'm gonna have to leave soon. I don't know if Ali wants to talk or if she's free now, or sorry, not if she wants to talk, if she's free now or later. I just don't know what time it is where she is. I don't know where she is. Okay. Um, Thank you as well. You don't know beans. Very, very kind of you. Are they still stalking your brother? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think he would tell me at this point because I talk about gang stalking and he doesn't think gang stalking is real, or maybe I don't know what is going on. I mean, the guy was stalked. The guy hears voices, V2K, and then when I tell him about gang stalking and V2K technologies and all of that, he's just like, "Don't talk to me about that. I have enough problems," and he's just like, go get mental help, and I'm just like, is he joking? What do you think the voices in your head are exactly? I'm thinking maybe he thinks the voices in his head are actual, like an actual delusion. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know it. I don't care because I do care, but it's just I don't care enough to trouble myself to go through the whole uh, trouble of like pulling from him information because it's extremely tedious. It's just like if you want, yeah, maybe too scary, Lorna. You might be right. You might be right, honestly. I mean, to tell you the truth, I think you're onto something because it's just like how could you say you hear voices? You were followed by gang members. You call an Uber and the person that was following you is your Uber driver. I'm trying to tell you about gang stalking, and you call me crazy and you tell me that I should get checked. I'm like, and he was really upset. He was like, why don't you take my advice when you told me to get checked? Because I did. I told him to get checked when he told me that everything that was happening to him because I didn't know gang stalking was real. I just thought you hear voices and you're paranoid that people are following you. You're schizophrenic, obviously. Get checked. But when I tell him like, hey, gang stalking is real, he tells me to get checked, and I'm just like, he got really upset. He was like, so like what? You think you're smart enough like to give me advice, but I'm not smart enough to give you advice? And I didn't answer. And it became this huge issue, and it's just he's very like family. He's very hard to talk to, extremely hard to talk to. It's um I don't know how to put it. It's quite unpleasant to try to talk to him. But he is who he is, and he is how God made him. I'm just not. I don't have the bandwidth for it. I don't have, you know, the energy to try to force information on him that he doesn't want. It's fine. It's fine. When he's ready, I'll be there. Do you think one can get anxiety from associating with a narcissist? Absolutely. Yes. Definitely. It happens. Some people hear voices. Yeah, of course. Some people hear voices. Yeah. But he was followed by gang members in stores. And he called me to tell me people are following me. And I was like, what? Like there's people following me. I go to stores, they follow me, they come in, they don't buy anything. When I leave, they leave. I go to another store, they show up again. I go to another store, they show up again. They never buy anything. They just follow me from aisle to aisle. And when I leave, they leave. And then I call an Uber to go home, and the guy that was following me is my Uber driver. And I'm just like, what? And he's just like, no, these gang members, I think they're gonna hurt me or do something to me. I'm like, you don't own anything. What? I mean, he wants your debt? What are you talking about, man? Classic gang stalking, yeah. But when he told me about it, I was like, no one is gonna go through that trouble for you, man. Everything that you hate to hear being told to you, I was telling him. Like, no one is going through the trouble of coming after you, man. That's not happening. What are you talking about? You're the king of nothing. And then he started telling me about hearing voices as well. And well, no, he told me about hearing voices before. And then he told me about being followed. And then he told me about a pest infestation. And I didn't put it together because I didn't know what gang stalking was. And then as soon as I found out about gang stalking, I started thinking to myself, I mean, even when I found out about gang stalking, I still thought he was nuts. But then I found Andrew McCready's videos where he was talking about hearing voices. And at that point, I was like, oh, my brother's being gang stalked. And then my other brother, my little brother, his car got set on fire. And he's like 22, college student. There's no reason for somebody to walk up his street, pour gasoline on his car and set it on fire. There's no reason for that. My ex was a huge narcissist and he passed away, but his best friend has picked up where he left off. I've had helicopters over my apartment and he shined a spotlight in my window. Yeah. There's this guy in France that I've been talking to that it keeps happening to him. And I'm going to interview that guy too, but the interview will be in French. So, sorry. Hopefully I'll figure out a way to put closed captions or something. But yeah, the interview is going to be in French because he doesn't speak English. You are from the Caribbean islands. Is it Trinidad? I'm Haitian. Close enough. I'm Haitian. Does your brother think that you don't believe him? Well, see, the thing is, my brother thinks he's schizophrenic. He's sort of come to accept that. which is why he thinks that I'm schizophrenic when I tell him about gang stalking. He's like, go get help. I did. You should too. And I'm just like, no, no, we're not crazy. But I mean, I'm not worried because I know that one day the gang stalking that he goes through is going to make itself too obvious, and he'll come to terms with the fact that, oh, I think Kevin was right. Maybe he'll be able to admit it to himself and come to me. Maybe he won't. Doesn't matter. He's all right. Were you in any kind of program as a child and your brother? I do remember, I don't know about him. I've never been in the same class as him back in school, but I do remember um, some aspects of like the gate program where like they put a headset on your head and tell you, can you hear this noise? Do you still hear it? Things of that nature. I don't remember any pink drinks or anything like that. I do remember the cards, but it's very fuzzy, as far as the details go of, that test, that gate program test. I can't remember much of it, but I don't remember being in like the gate program itself, like being accepted into it or anything like that. I just remember the test being done on me. That's it. Cosmic Queen. It's very funny. It's pretty funny to be abused by Christians and then have them tell you need Jesus, and it's just like, you're right. It's like, you're a gang stalker. Why are you're a Christian gang stalker? Why are you trying to hand me lessons? You're a walking paradox. Annie Richards, V2K is real. It is. He doesn't think it's real. I mean, it's such again, a couple months ago I would not be laughing at this. I would be heated. I would be hot in the face while talking about it. But because it's my brother, it's my twin brother. But to talk to my brother about V2K, a man who is a victim of V2K, and have him tell me V2K is not real, don't talk to me about that crazy stuff. Enraging. I know you guys can't imagine me angry because I haven't shown you that side, but it's enraging. And either way, when I'm angry, I don't really. No, we're not identical. We don't look alike at all. But I know I don't really, scream or rage when I'm angry, usually. I just get quiet. I stop talking. I'm wise that way. I figured out long ago that, you know, saying things and doing things while angry leads to regret. So when I get really angry, I just go like this. I zip it. Life is better that way. Because I don't, by reacting when you're angry, you're just going to create more problems for yourself in the future. It's like whatever is making me angry is a problem enough on its own. I don't need to create more problems for myself. That's not necessary. Yeah, and I pray as well. It does help. Not all Christians are Christians. There are Christian narcissists, even if they are pastors talking from experience. Most pastors are narcissists. Most of them. Yeah, wisdom is wisdom is the prize you get for a hardship. Sorry. Yeah, watching and observing is better than getting angry. Yeah, it's something that I've learned. I just I don't react when I'm angry. I go quiet. It's better that way. Do you know the difference between a schizophrenia episode and a spiritual experience? I don't know what a spiritual experience is, and I've never had a schizophrenia episode either, so I don't know what the difference. I mean, I can imagine what the difference would be from my knowledge on the two, but they stalk the seed of Adam to destroy them. Hmm. They've stopped harassing me in the streets because I couldn't care less. Now they are in my phone messing with my Wi-Fi and whatever they can. Yeah. They've done that to me a lot throughout the years as well. It's interesting because I hear a lot of twins are in the program. Is that right? I mean, I don't know a lot of twins, but yeah. Sarah Matthews, I'm very sorry to hear that. Sarah says, I can't rent an apartment to save my life. I'm very sorry to hear that. I think the the part of the cruel part of it all is not just that they create situations for you that are impossible, like they'll stop you from getting a job, for example, is then it's also that afterwards they will get people in your surroundings to shame you for not having a job. There's a special kind of cruelty in that, creating hardship in your life and then having people around you shame you for the hardship that has been created in your life. There's really a special kind of cruelty, and sometimes the people that are shaming you for the situation that you've been put in, they don't even understand that this situation was created for you. They think, oh, it's your fault. Like for example, I had one point I had a pest infestation in my home, and people were shaming me for it. And I'm like, I'm not a dirty person. I did not I didn't pick up like garbage in the street and bring it to my home, you know? But I've I've stopped caring what people think of me completely a few months ago. If you can remember his name, Lorna, I'd like to know. Yeah, they put pests in your home as well. Yeah. You shouldn't care. I don't. I don't, Zoe. Steve the Pigeon, I hope you had a nice sleep. They'll bring bugs in your house. It's a torture tactic, make you sick, drive you nuts. Yeah. Bugs, parasites. Geez, for me it was rats, then roaches, and for a time bed bugs. And these people are really like, evil, honestly. I mean, there's a particular thing that they did to me that I don't even talk about because it's so out there and it involves people that you would never believe would participate in that kind of stuff. You're like, but she's a doctor. And I'm like, yeah. You're like, and she participated in your gang stalking? I'm like, yeah. She poisoned you? Yeah. Like you wouldn't. Anyways, I mean, I'm like smiling, but it's not funny to me. It's not funny at all. But there are some things that if I told you, like if I told you guys, and I will never speak of this ever, but there are some things that have happened. If I spoke on it, you would, you who is being gang stalked, listening to me who is also being gang stalked. If I told you some of the things that have happened to me, or this particular thing that I'm thinking of, where a doctor participated, if I told you about it, you'll be like, no, you're going too far. Reel it back in, Kevin. And I'm like, no, it happened. It's real. Like a doctor. I'm like, yeah, with a smile on her face. We pray for justice. Mm, Lorna. Lorna, where did you hear about Project Paperclip? Hmm? What you know about Project Paperclip? Lorna is savvy, guys. She knows ball. You don't know beans. How do we make it stop? Exposure. That's where we start. We expose this program. We expose it. White and hairless mice in my home. Everyone thinks they came from outside. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, who? Who's Joseph? Oh, damn. Lorna. Well, this is gonna be an interesting night. All right. Lorna knows ball. I'm going to inform myself on this physician, this prominent physician that Lorna just referred me to. Mm. Ooh, Denise Collins said, Sarah, someone close to you passing away is a playing field for gang stalkers. It's much deeper than just someone passing away. It's anything big that happens to you. You get married, you get divorced, someone passes away, someone is born, you have a child born in your family. You move in with someone moves in with you. You get a new job, you quit your job. They love to kick you while you're down, but they also love to destabilize you when you're sort of unstable in your life. Like you're in between jobs, you're in between apartments. They really, they really enjoy to create chaos while your life is already a bit chaotic. So yeah, if someone passes away in your family, expect that they see it as great, perfect opportunity because they know that you are more likely to be reactive in those moments. You're more likely to be affected by their tactics in those moments because much of what they do is only effective if you react to it. Or not only effective, but it's much more effective if you react to it. So they need you to react to it. Lorna, you're not old. You're smart. You're very smart. Are you new here, Lorna? I feel like you are new here. Well, if Jesus is for me, I think you should Google this man. I'm not going to speak on it here, but I think you should Google this man. They are happy when you are down. Yeah, they want nothing but bad things for you in your life. They want to create as much chaos as possible. Hmm. Hmm. Annie? Oh, Annie. Wait. It breaks my heart this is happening. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. See Truth Life, you got it. Um, I mean, it is heartbreaking. I think one of the most heartbreaking things about this program is, or one of the most shocking things. Sorry, something Denise just said is, oh, the males. Lorna. Okay. It makes sense. It makes sense now. It makes sense. It all makes sense. Thanks for clearing that up. Thanks for clearing that up. What makes me sad about this program is that it's us. That's who we are. Well, not you and I, right? But I'm just saying this is being done by people, humans. We are of the same species as these people. I mean, obviously, we're not cut from the same cloth, very obviously, but these are people doing this comfortably, without a care, with a smile on their faces, destroying their fellow man with a smile on their faces, happy to do so. Some people are doing it for nothing. It really opened my eyes to the reality of the world. Denise Collins says, "You look and speak like you should be a pastor of a church." Thank you. Thank you. People who seek positions of power or status are usually not good people, and they're not to be trusted. You do with that information what you will. We are living in our last days. We all better get ourselves together. Indeed. My grandmother used to say that all the time. We're in the last days. We're in the last days. And I didn't understand what she meant. I get it now. Right? If you're that bored, get a hobby. There's so many things you could be doing instead of, gang stalking. Pick up a hobby. Go date girls or boys or men or women, I mean. Just tennis, chess, video games. Just destroying your fellow man for fun. Read a book. Thank you, Sad Angel. Read a book. There are so many things you could when I went through my breakup, instead of becoming bitter and instead of letting myself become bitter because I felt it coming, I learned to play like 40 songs on my guitar. I felt like I'm not gonna let this make me become bitter. I'm gonna let this make me become better. I could whip out my guitar right now and you know, you think I'm a speaker. Like If I pull out my guitar right now, sing you some Michael Jackson, you will. Well, I'm telling you, don't play. Anyways, uh, no. Well, why do you think people join in gang stalking? So it's the carrot or the stick, right? It's one of the two, carrot or the stick. People join in gang stalking. One, because they are trying to get themselves out of trouble. So it's people that are already in trouble with the law, and they're being told, "Hey, if you just do this thing for us, we can get you out of trouble." Or it's people who this is the stick, right? Do this or you'll get in trouble. Do this or whatever. And then when it comes to the carrot, it's no, it's I'll send you, you know what? I'll send you a link where you can hear me play my guitar. I think I can send you a link. I'll send, I'll give you my private Instagram, and I think the first video is me talking about my experience being gang stalked. But the second and the third pinned video you'll see on my private Instagram is me playing my guitar and singing songs. So the first one is Michael Jackson's "Do You Remember the Time?" and the second one is System of a Down, Aerials. Very different songs. But my Instagram, my personal Instagram is Bulldog Poppy. So if you want to hear me sing, here you go. Sorry, I love these songs too. I really love these songs. Mina Star, t'es en France. Tu te fais gangstock en France aussi? T'es un individu ciblé en France? Are you also a targeted individual in France? Is this your first time here? I don't think I've noticed you before, Mina Star. Uh, what was I saying? Sorry, I just got like super. Yeah, so right. The stick. So the stick is do this or else you'll get in trouble, or if you want to get out of trouble, do this. The carrot is people will do it for money or for revenge, or like just revenge or to hurt someone, right? So for example, if you're in business, say, and you have competitors, but you're a hateful person and you're a narcissist and you don't care about obeying the laws, and you have a flawed character, and someone offers you an opportunity to destroy your competition, you go, yeah, of course, Saroon, I'm in. And then on top of that, they might offer you some money as well to do it. You're like, yeah, 100%. Yes. So there's that. Or perhaps it's just money and you go follow this guy. Here's his picture, he's going to be here at this time. Go just follow him and report back. And they don't quite understand what they're doing. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They only see what they're doing though. They don't see all the other stuff you've been dealing with for so long. And they're thinking to themselves, well, I'm just one person walking, you know, walking where they're walking. I'm not doing anything that bad. But it's like, no, you're perpetrating a crime against me. You have joined into a group of people that are creating an environment of fear for me. It's a crime. Rico, congratulations. But yeah, carrot and a stick. That's how it goes. Smart people. How do you think they are approached to commit such terrorism? Threatened, blackmailed, Can any of us imagine doing such atrocities to anyone? This is why we are targeted. Well, before they approach these people, one thing you have to understand is before they approach these people, they look at their characters. They study their characters. Is this the kind of person that would join this kind of activity before they ever contact them? So that's the first thing. You have to understand that they're not just spying on you, they're spying on the people around you. So they spy on these people to see, do these people have a high level of narcissism that we can exploit, you know? The second thing is, okay, if this person does not have a high level of narcissism, does this person have a chip on their back? Can we get them to see that the cause of the problems in their life is you? Can we do that? And then the other one is, of course, are you in trouble with the law? Would you like to not be in trouble with the law? Do this. Or if you don't do this, we know that you did this. If you don't do this for us, you'll be in trouble with the law. So, um, you know, it may feel like all of these, it may feel like everyone around you is in on it, but everyone around you is not in on it. Um, the way that it works is they look for the people, they look for the people around you that can be turned on you. And then if they can if they can get something on you that will get people to really hate you, you know, reactive abuse, you get angry and you lash out, whatever that means, and they can get people to hate you, then at that point it becomes easier to recruit people. So for me, for example, the way that they recruited people in my family is I gossiped about one of my cousins. Well, two of my cousins, three. I gossiped about three of my cousins. And, one of these cousins, what I said about them was not bad at all. The other one, what I said about them was mean. The other one, what I said about her was really mean. It was like really mean, uncalled for, and the timing was really not right. And they used that in order to turn some of my family members against me. But you have to understand at the same time that these people that they turned against me within my family, they're also extremely narcissistic, very easy to manipulate. It wasn't easy. It wasn't hard to manipulate, for example, the cousin I have in mind. It wasn't hard to manipulate him into joining a humiliation ritual tactic. Hey, have a good night, Jem Jem. Sleep tight. It wasn't hard to initiate him into a humiliation ritual tactic because he's been obsessed with secret societies since he was like 12. He's been talking about secret societies constantly since he was 12. So when a secret society contacted him and told him, "Hey, your cousin said this about you," you know, he's talking about you being adopted, which he is. He's adopted. Not adopted as in he's not my family, but his his father passed away, and my grandparents adopted him and told him that he was their kid. And for all of his life until he turned 18, he thought he was my uncle. Like he thought he was my youngest uncle. Turns out, I thought he was my mother's brother. Turns out, he's the son of my mother's oldest brother, who passed away. But I was talking about that. He didn't like that very much. And of course, I within this gossip, I was talking about the person who told him that he was adopted when he turned 18. The person who told him, "Hey, our grandparents are not your parents; they're your grandparents." And I was talking about that person as well. And then there's another person, another cousin of mine that I talked about, but it's a story I don't want to get into too much. The lesson here is don't gossip, guys. Don't do that. I've learned my lesson for sure. But yeah, it wasn't hard to recruit these people into their tactics because those cousins of mine who joined are extremely narcissistic as well. You know, throwing someone under the bus for their own benefits is not something that is out of their characters. It wasn't out of their characters in the first place. It wasn't far away from who they were in the first place. So that's how it's done. Carrot and the stick. I hope I answered your question, Kamisa. Speak some Creole. Ça vous voulez me dire? Est-ce que vous quand même comprenez ça m'a dit? Parce que vous demandez parler en créole, mais est-ce que vous quand comprendre? What's the point, you know? I'll speak Creole, but you won't understand what I'm saying. Ou pas qu'à comprendre rien, m'a dit. How do you understand what I'm saying, See Truth Life? Are you Haitian? So if I pull out a sentence right now, you'll understand what I'm saying? If I speak Creole right now. Oh, you're Haitian. I got fed. Damn, my bad. My bad, bro. How's my Creole, See Truth Life? I have read the Bible many times, my dear friend. I read and study constantly. Good. My boule, if that's how you spell it. I mean, it is how you spell it, but there's no space in boule. Thank you. Are you talking about snails? I was not talking about snails, as a matter of fact. I was just saying I could speak Creole. I could speak Creole all day, but you heard escargot. Really? Damn, I did not say escargot. Uh, but yeah, I was just saying I could speak Creole all day, but you're not gonna understand what I'm saying. Thank you, Side Angel. Be careful. Be careful. If you compliment me 3 times, my wife shows up to your house and beats you up. That's how that works. Once you're once you aren't affected, some of it stops. That is true. Once you're no longer affected, once you no longer react, it it doesn't get as like it's not as bad anymore. Um, I mean they'll never stop. They'll never stop. But it's just, for sure they'll focus more on targets who react to it. Just like narcissists do, right? It's almost as if it's almost as if it was the same thing. I will tell her you love her too. You're gonna get brownie points with her. And no, you don't want her to beat you up. Thank you, thank you. Can Haitians and Africans communicate in Creole? Well, it depends. It depends what kind of Africans we're talking about because my wife is from a also a French-speaking country, but they don't speak Creole. However, if you look at La Réunion, La Réunion, sorry, is it La Réunion? No, it's not Mauritius, Mauritius. There we go. So it's Mauritius, which is next to Madagascar. It's a very small island next to Madagascar, which is in Africa, off the coast of the Indian Ocean. So it's like close to Mozambique, East Africa, right? But Mauritius is an island off the coast of Madagascar, and they speak Creole. And when the first time I met people from Mauritius, I thought they were Haitians because they look Haitians. And people from Mauritius will usually either look Arab, look Indian, or look Caribbean. I don't know the story, the history of this country. Um, but when I first met them, I thought they were Haitians because they had Haitian names, and or Haitian sounding names, and they spoke Creole. But then they spoke Creole, but it wasn't exactly the same as our Creole. But I could definitely understand what they were saying. And then when I asked them, "Hey, you speak Creole, but your Creole is a bit different. Where are you guys from?" I thought they were from like Martinique or Guadeloupe, and they said Mauritius, and I was like, Mauritius? Where is that in the Caribbeans? And they were like, it's not in the Caribbeans. I was like, what? And like, where is it? And they said, it's in Africa. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, there are countries in Africa that speak Creole. And I was like, no way. Get out. Get out of here. And yeah, people in Mauritius speak Creole. And it's if you heard our Creole and theirs, you wouldn't know the difference. To get from Haiti to Mauritius is like a 15-hour flight, but we speak the same. I don't slavery. Good night, Sad Angel. I hope you have a great night. Hey, Deb. How's it going, Deb? How are you? I'm glad you're here. I was supposed to do an interview with Ali, but she's no longer responding to my messages. I'm gonna ask her, are you there? I think she's shy. That's okay. I get that. Yeah, sorry. I got off topic too. But yeah, Haitians and Africans who speak Creole, you know, French Creole, they can communicate with each other. The same thing with different islands in the Caribbean who speak French Creole. We can communicate with each other. Our languages resemble itself close enough. There are some people in my wife's country who speak Portuguese Creole. I don't know what they're saying. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. It's Mauritius. And what's really crazy is the first lady I ever met from Mauritius was this Muslim woman who looked Pakistani. And the last thing I expected to hear from her, I mean, at first I asked her like, "Where are you from? India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan?" And she was like, "I'm not Asian." I was like, "Where are you from?" She was like, I'm African." And I was like, "Oh, my bad. Are you from like Egypt or Morocco? Like, because you're very dark skinned, you know?" And she was like, "I'm from Mauritius." And I was like, "What is Mauritius?" And I wasn't paying attention when she was saying it. But then she started speaking Creole, and I was like, "You sound like you sound like my mom, man. What is going on?" But yeah, Mauritius Island is a very mixed bag. I had a friend who came from Mauritius back in high school as well, but I didn't know. I only started talking to her about it when I met my friends who were from Mauritius, and they spoke Creole. I went back to her and said, "Hey, you're from Mauritius." She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You don't look black." And she was like, "Buddy, if I showed you my family," and she sent me a picture. She was like, "All of these people are my cousins on the same side," and I was like, one of them looked European, white. One of them looked completely black like me. One of them looked Indian, and it was just like, what? Anyways, hey, have a great night, Lorna. I'm glad you changed your name too. Lorna's a great name. And thanks for the information on Mr. Joseph. I'm gonna do my research on Joseph tonight. Can we talk about the essence of what you would like to get across in the interviews? Is there a sequence of questions you have prepared for everyone, or are you just riffing the whole time? That's a great question. That's a great question. So, the questions in question that I ask are always the same if I can get them out by the end of that I have with the hour or two that I have with the person doing the interview, the first question is always, when did you first start noticing strange things begin to happen in your life? And then the follow up question is, what happened if they don't tell me that? The second question is, without naming names, who do you think puts you on a government domestic terrorist watch list? And the follow up question, if they don't answer that, is why? The third question is, explain in your own words what gang stalking is. The follow up question, if they don't answer that, is which tactics have been used to abuse you and destroy your life? The fourth question is, how do you deal with gang stalking on a daily basis? So the stress of it all. Free poo shiesty. Nah, keep them in. Number five is, how have these experiences affected your relationships with family, friends, and business? And the last question is, how do people in your surrounding respond when you share your gang stalking experience with them? So these are the 6 questions that I ask people, and the essence of what I'm trying to get across in the interviews is basically, I want as many people as possible to tell only talk about my retirement, how X influenced. What happened, Deb? What's going on? But sorry, yeah, the reason why I do these interviews is I want as many people as possible to tell their story, because when you hear one person say the story, you go, not plausible. You hear 2 people, you go, they might share a delusion. You hear 10 people tell you the same story. At some point, if you're not you know, an unintelligent person, you go, there's too many people saying it. Now I have to investigate. And just creating that point, and this is really important. I'm glad you asked that question. God, what a great question. Mother of 3 and blessed. Thank you. No, it wasn't you who asked. Who asked that question? Yeah, wait. Who asked that question? Oh, Cosmic Queen. Thanks. But I'm gonna get to Mother of 3 as well. That's a great question. The point I'm trying to get to is, I'm trying to get to a point where people stop dismissing these stories and they go, this deserves investigating. I'm trying to get to the point where people go, there are too many people to whom this is happening to, and it seems like they're not special. It seems like they were targeted, which means they were targeted for no reason or for an unjust reason, which means this could happen to me. This deserves more investigation. And at that point, the rabbit hole awaits you, and you can start to look into it. The issue with telling our stories now, when the awareness is very low, is that it's very easy for people to just go, no, you're crazy. Get checked. You need to get back on your meds, because you're just one person telling the story. But if I can interview 200 people who say the exact same thing, at what point do you go, for all of them to be delusional is possible, for all of them to suffer from schizophrenia is possible, for all of them to be suffering from psychosis is possible, for all of them to have the exact same delusion? Unlikely. This deserves investigation. That's what I want. I just want people to start looking into it and become aware of what this is doing, what is happening. so that what needs to happen can happen. We can find who's behind it and end it. Or at the very least, because I don't think it's going to end it, but at the very least, to weaken this program to the point where it's not hurting as many people as it is hurting, because people are losing their lives. People are being unalived by this. Po- Law enforcement officers are participating in this. Medical doctors are participating in this. CPS. Somebody just talked about CPS. Absolutely, they're participating in this. There is a whole system of corruption, and there are a whole bunch of people that are giving in to said corruption for whatever reason it is that they have. I don't care. So yeah, Gracie Green. Kev pissed off a cop on Facebook. I pissed off an FBI agent who routinely set me up with police and CPS. Yeah. I mean, I didn't piss him off on Facebook. I pissed him off on a forum, on a Pitbull forum, an American Bully forum. Back when I had American Bullies. Even back before I had American Bullies, 20 years ago, I joined an American Bully forum called Club Bully. Clubbully.com. That website is gone. But it was clubbully.com. That's where it started. Is it still gone? Let me check. Yep, still gone. Yeah, Club Bully is still gone. Yeah, but it was on an American Bully forum called clubbully.com. I had some arguments with this guy who I thought was just a guy. It turned out to be a law enforcement officer. And he was they were doing it to other people. To another person. And I joined the chat room, and like I said, this guy showed up in the chat room and he was super upset. He was saying, "You guys are messing with my livelihood, you're messing with my life. You know, this is my family that you're messing with. You guys are destroying my life. I'm contacting the FBI. I'm gonna tell them, blah blah." And I'm just sitting here like, these people are all in different states. How is it possible for them to destroy his life from a different state? What is he talking about? 20 years later, now I understand what he was talking about. I get it. And they thought it was funny. They were laughing, they were mocking him. You know, at one point they were making jokes about him having parasites. And today I realized, oh, they infested his home with parasites. That's why they're laughing about it. But yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry you went through that, Gracie. I'm sorry you went through that. But yeah, they will do some really awful things to you and then try to make you look like you're a monster, you know? Like you're a bad person. Cops to my dirt road to set up checkpoint. Get me every time I left. They get me on a BS warrant that I never got any paperwork on and roll out. Yeah, yeah. That sounds about right. Hey Tarai, I didn't even see you were here. How's it going? Was out on medical and did not return, just retired, no need to return. Wow. Deb, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're retired. Fantastic. Fantastic. Because I will say that, one of the hardest parts of being gang stalked is going to a workplace where you already don't like it. Like you already don't like working, you know. You may not like the job you have, or maybe you like the job you have, but work is still work. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, I was a dog trainer for a long time, and it was my dream job, but it's still work. It's still work. But one of the worst things is going to work and then being bullied at work. I mean, where can you find peace? You know. So I'm really happy to hear that you're retired and you don't have to deal with this mess at work. They love gaslighting and playing the victim. Yeah. Infinite Yasin says you look different. I have different glasses today. Different glasses. Good eye, buddy. That's a really good eye. Dang. Yeah, stealing your mail is something that is really common. Is it okay to hug your coworker from the back? No. Hey, thanks. Self karma. Thank you very much. Yeah. Like I said, I'm looking to do some more interviews. I really want to do an interview with Jennifer. Hopefully we can get it together. I'm gonna ask Amina to do another interview because we were only halfway done with our interview, though it was a really great one, and you guys seem to really appreciate it. I think I'm nearing. How many views do I have on it by now? Man, I'm about to hit 1,000 views on the interview with Amina. That makes me very happy. That makes me very happy. Wow, very cool. Very cool. I'm glad. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. And when I sent it to Amina, this is like the third part of the interview that we did together. When I sent it to her, she was super excited. She was like, "This looks really cool," and she didn't really react to the first two parts, but this one, she was like, "This is really nice." And then some of my cousins, my friends and family who never comment or react to my gang stalking videos, they really like this one. I don't know what I did different. I think it's Amina, honestly. I think Amina is just because I asked her the question, "Can you describe gang stalking?" And she gave a beautiful description of what gang stalking is. Really beautiful description. And I think that's what people are enjoying. I don't think it has very much to do with me, honestly, because I didn't do anything different. But Amina's explanation of gang stalking was quite good, actually. Really good. And you can even tell while I was doing the interview, I was kind of in awe of her explanation. I was like, wow, that was really good. So I think that's what happened. Peace in prayer and petition with thanksgiving to God about things that bother us. I agree. That's where I find peace as well. I pray. I pray. I bring it to God. I just bring it to God. Have a great night, Sarah Matthews. I'm glad you were here. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you soon. The magnitude of this program, so well planned and executed, this won't end well. Ay, ay, ay. You know, there is this guy, I think his name is Esoteric Jake on Instagram, and he just put out this video on Instagram talking about how uh, all these detention facilities will be used against political dissenters. Sorry, political dissenters in the future, and that they're deploying all this, Palantir stuff and surveillance stuff in order to basically build a profile on us of who to round up. I mean, what he was talking about was quite depressing because I believe it. And he was saying they're gonna round us up and they're gonna freaking unalive us. And I was listening to this guy and I was just like, you know, as dark as it is, I think so. But we're not going down without a fight. Gracie just said something that is so I can relate to so much. And not just when it comes to gang stalking, but narcissistic abuse, which again, gang stalking is just narcissistic abuse in, organized. But Gracie Green, she just said, I studied so much that I helped myself, and now I want to help others help themselves. This is why I started this channel in the first place. It was because, okay, all right, I've studied narcissism. I understand it. I've vanquished it, right? I've expunged narcissists from my life, a good portion of them from my life. I've made myself narcissistic abuse proof in a sense that I no longer view people or narcissists abusing me as something that has to do with me. It has to do with them, and I'm not concerned with it. If you become abusive towards me, I simply kick you out of my life. I will not tolerate any of it. I will not have it. I do not believe for a second that there's anything that I say or do or that I am that makes me deserving of narcissistic abuse. So if you choose to be abusive towards me, that's your problem and it's yours to deal with. And I want nothing of it. I want nothing to do with it. So after I studied narcissism and basically not vanquished narcissism, but vanquished the part of myself, the self-loathing part of myself that secretly, subconsciously believed that I was deserving of narcissistic abuse, the part of myself that felt the need to prove to anyone that I deserved respect, that I deserved to be treated well, that I deserved love. Once I had a funeral for this part of myself, I then decided, what a great gift to give to myself. I'm going to give it to other people. And that's how this page started. That really, what you just said really touched me. I studied so much that I helped myself, and now I want to help others help themselves. Beautifully said. I don't accept that someone else has control of the lives of the children of our Most High God. Amen. I hope they bring us all to the same camp. How fire would that be? I don't want to be in any camps, right? I mean, being in a camp with you guys would be awesome, but I don't want to be in any camps. I will not have it all. Sorry. When we do something we regret, we repent, change our ways, take accountability. They sit there and see zero wrongs, no conscience, they're asleep. Very true, Cosmic Queen. Very true. You know, when I do something and I realize that it has hurt someone, I see the wrong of my ways, I repent, I change. I view my mistakes and the noticing of my mistakes as an opportunity to get better, to become a better person, to grow. To a narcissist, seeing the error of their ways feels like the end. They can't deal with that. I mean, they simply cannot. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. Tougher the suffering with closeness to God. It's unfortunate, but yeah. 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 After 20 plus years, you kind of learn to adjust, and most certainly you're more able to help the new folks. You've been there, know the ropes, and can emphasize. Yeah. You know, that's why I'm not judgmental of people who refuse to speak up about their experience with gang stalking. It's because I've been going through this for 19 years now. All of 19 years. I used to say 20 back when it was 18. I was rounding up, but it's been 19 years now. So it's easy for me to speak up and help people, not just because it's been going on for a long time, but also because of my level of consciousness, my ability to communicate what's happening to me in a rational, coherent fashion. But it's also due to the fact that because I've been going through this for 19 years, I know this is not gonna stop. This is only gonna get worse because it has only been getting worse with time. So, it is what it is. Don't block him, guys. Don't block him. I want to hear what he has to say. Please, 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 please don't block him. Don't block him. I want to hear what this dude has to say. Maybe he won't say anything. Who knows? Don't block him yet, then. Don't block him yet. You've been sharing this, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Is that from? Oh, it is from the Bible. Okay. Uh, my people are destroyed. It better be good. I'll tell you about something that I just talked about. I think it was before you were here, Deb, but I'll tell you something. Oh, please, please don't block him. Please, please, please don't block him. He's talking cash right now. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Mmm. Willful ignorance. Interesting. Interesting. Color bombing. Don't block him. Okay, so I'll explain to you why I don't want to block him, Deb. Uh, so there's this account called Marvin Bot that has been commenting lately on my page. And no, he's not just suspect. This is a perpetrator, but don't block him just yet, please. And but I'll explain to you why. There is this account, Marvin Bot, who has been commenting on my page for the past, I want to say, week. And he's just I think it's a bot account. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It doesn't really matter. But this person has been going into great detail writing comments on my page, and he got to about 18 comments within 5 days on my page. And he writes these long paragraphs talking about, you are hurting these people, indulging in their delusions by interviewing them. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're destroying your own life with this talk about gangs talking, and you're, you know, you, you know, just shaming me, trying to, uh, I guess, trying to make me react, trying to affect me with his, sorry, Cosmic Queen made me laugh. So he's been writing these long paragraphs and comments trying to shame me and shame others. And at first, when I first saw his comment, I thought usually I would block you, but it's really funny because you wrote a big paragraph, like a long text here. And I'm intrigued. I want to hear what you have to say. And so I didn't delete him. And then I think it was yesterday he wrote six different comments on six different videos. And I'm just like, wow, this guy is invested. Like he's really invested in this. And I'm reading the comments and I'm reading the comments. And today I blocked him. I did unblock him, during the live. I did block him today before the live because I thought to myself, I'm being selfish. This is entertaining to me because it doesn't affect me. Because, you know, I would never let a perp's opinion of me, uh, I would never let a perp's opinion of me. I mean, he's not talking cash like Marvin Bot though. This is, he's being very vague right now. This is too bad. And he's calling me a coward while remaining super vague. Anyways, but the bot account, I blocked it because I thought, yeah, he's a perp. He's absolutely perp. But I blocked the other account, Marvin Bot, because I thought to myself, I'm being selfish. This is entertaining to me, but this will upset others. Because the only thing worse than going through abuse is having someone basically either gaslight you or deny your abuse completely. So when I thought of that, I thought to myself, I'm just gonna block him because I don't want him to upset people that come to my page for, validation of their experiences and for um, information, and also to share with other people, to get a place of a moment of quiet and peace and something positive, right? Like I'm able to look at this negative comment and get something positive out of it. I'm getting entertainment. But a lot of people who will see this will be like, they'll take him seriously. They won't realize that, yeah, if you react to perps, you're giving them what they want. They're just thinking, how could you possibly be so insensitive to deny your reality and, all of that. And it's definitely something that I would have done maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But today, I've dealt with so much of it that I'm just like, you know, it can become funny sometimes, especially if the person that is writing the comments is really putting work in. I mean, the comments that Marvin Bot posted were almost poetic, almost poetic. It it was really well structured, not like Stefan here 4275. You you disappoint me. But the comments were very funny. So I unblocked them only because I still want to hear what, and no one is really reacting to him. The only thing that I've seen is like I've seen one of his comment get like 5 likes. And then of course when I see that, I know that it's an orchestrated effort, which, who's are we not familiar with orchestrated efforts, right? So I dealt with some of that on Reddit at some point as well. Doesn't matter. But yeah, he was basically saying, you're mentally ill and blah blah. And I mean, I just thought it was so entertaining, so funny. So I did unblock him. I hope you guys will forgive me. But no one is interacting with him, so I figured maybe it's fine. Stefan says, entertainment speaking truth or religious scripture talk is entertainment for you, not for me. Ooh, Stefan is now shaming me. This is called. Oh, this is actually really good. Well, this is a good comment here. Thank you for saying that. No, this has value, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it has value. What Stefan did, Cesara Stefan, 4275 just did, is called a strawman argument, right? I am saying that I am entertained by the comments that Marvin Bot posted. And all the bots, all the perps, their comments can be entertaining to some extent. What Stefan just did is a strawman argument. A strawman means a strawman is essentially a fake person, right? He's he's making it seem like me saying this is entertaining to me is I'm being entertained by religious scriptures, right? So I'm mocking the Lord. I'm making fun of religious scriptures, which is not what I said. And his goal here is to get me to defend myself, to defend against this strawman argument, this argument that I never made, that I never even, um, alluded to, but he's making it seem like that's what I said. It's sort of like when you reprimand someone for doing something wrong, and then they say something like, oh, well, just say it. I can't do anything right. And then you're just like, that's not what I said. This is a strawman argument. They're trying to get you to fight against an argument that you never made. It's Darvo, right? They completely deny any wrongdoing, and they reverse the victim and offender roles, right? And they attack you. They deny what they did. They attack you. They reverse the victim offender roles by making you defend yourself against a perceived attack or a fake attack, and making it seem like you are actually the bad person. You are actually the one who should be ashamed of yourself for being so mean or for mocking the Lord, which is like, if you are new to narcissistic abuse, then you go, no, 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 that's not what I said, and you just lost the game because you're defending yourself. Why would you be defending yourself if you're not the offender? To an outsider looking in, you look like the offender. You look like you did something wrong. If you didn't do anything wrong, why are you defending yourself? Right? But to someone who knows the game, who understands narcissistic abuse, you know that someone who's accusing you of doing something you haven't done, someone who's arguing in bad faith, does not deserve a response. Someone accuses you of doing or saying something you haven't done, you just go, well, I appreciate that you see things that way, or I'm sorry you see things that way, or I'm aware you see things that way, but You don't go further than that. You don't say anything else. And of course, what they'll say is, "I don't see things that way. That's how things are. That's the reality." And you just go, "Okay," you know, because I'm not gonna defend myself. I didn't. I'm not the offender. You are. I'm not. You're not going to. This is what gaslighting is, right? Gaslighting is not just lying. It's lying about lying. And in lying about lying, I am twisting the reality in your mind. I'm getting you to deny reality or deny the truth and accept what I say as your new truth. I didn't offend you. You offended me. Defend yourself. Wasn't that a great lesson? Everybody say thank you, Stefan. Everybody say thank you to Stefan. Stefan just taught us, just allowed us to learn a great lesson. Did he not? Wasn't that a great lesson? Let me know what you guys think. I think it was a great lesson. You guys are awesome. Oh man, I'm having fun tonight. This is, by the way, Theodore is making a comment about my mustache. This is something that they actually like to do because they think I'm, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Damn. Insecure. Sorry about that. I think I'm insecure about my mustache or my looks, about my gray hair, about my mustache being too thick or too thin. Sometimes they'll make comments about my hairline being crooked. If you knew how handsome I think I look, you would call me vain. I would go down in the esteem you had for me. Yeah, I mean, to write the real way to respond, honestly, is to not even respond. So, like for example, for example, Marvin Bot, though he very much entertained me, I never responded to anything he said. I just read it and was entertained by it. But I never responded because when someone enters an argument in bad faith, you don't you don't engage. I'll give you an example to the people who play sports. If you're playing basketball with someone who constantly travels, double dribbles, fouls you, and never allows you to call him out on it, but then they call fouls on you constantly, whether you foul or not. So you may foul, it happens, and they call it, and then you don't foul, and they still call foul. But then when you call foul and you call um, double dribble travel, sorry, they go, no, 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 didn't happen. What do? You sit there and argue? Hey, Dev, you smart. You smart. You take your ball and you go home. You take your ball and you go home. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you or, you know, oh, what did he write? Hold on. Hey, there we go. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you about reality. And this is the lesson I'm gonna leave you guys with because I do have to go. But this is the lesson I'm gonna leave you guys with. Damn, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something really important. Yeah. Anyways, the lesson I'm gonna leave you guys with is it's really simple. Oh, got it, got it. If you're arguing with someone, if you find yourself in an argument with someone, or even if you find that you are about to engage in an argument with someone, and you cannot agree on what the facts are, the reality is, right? If you cannot agree on the simple facts of reality, for example, you double dribbled, you traveled. If you can't even agree on that, you fouled me. I didn't foul you. If we cannot agree on facts, what are we doing? What what good can come from an interaction where two people are looking at the same thing but seeing different things? The facts are the facts. Your appreciation of the facts are yours entirely, but the facts are the facts. And they don't change depending on how you feel about them. They don't change depending on nothing. The facts are the facts, and they remain the facts. So, but that was a great lesson that Stefan helped teach. Thank you very much, Stefan. The whole chat has taken, a second to thank you. And of course, Stefan has some friends that joined in the chat with Theodore and Garrett. Garrett. But yeah, this was a great lesson. The strawman argument. You stand accused of this. Defend against this accusation. I didn't do no. You got it all wrong. That wasn't my intention. Think what you want. I don't care. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Uh, if you guys get a chance, I just posted a video of part four, the interview with Nicole. This one is really heavy though, I will say. Trigger warning. Read the title. I mean, I didn't put in the title um, what she speaks of, but definitely trigger warning, guys. This one was quite heavy. So, but I sent her a message. I showed her the video. And I asked her, "Would you like me to change anything? Would you like me to take the video down? This speaks on a very sensitive topic that you wanted to speak on at the time, but if you change your mind, let me know because I'll remove it." And she said, "Nope, leave it as is. I've been silent for long enough." And I have a lot of admiration for Nicole. She's a very courageous woman to speak on what her family put her through, her and her child. And I admire her for having the courage to speak on it and for having the strength of character to handle it how she's handling it. So I hope you guys take a second to listen to what she has to say. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back in a couple of days, hopefully with an interview. I really want you guys to meet Jennifer. She's so great. She's really fantastic. She she has a way with words. She explains things in a very similar way that I do. You can imagine if she does exactly what I do. If I like her and I look up to her, you're gonna like her. You're gonna like her a lot. I've been hounding her, messaging her to try to get her attention, to get her to respond to me. And it wasn't for me because I can just watch her videos. It was because I want to share her with you guys. So yeah, yeah, it was very heavy. I'm sorry if should I put a trigger warning in the title? Maybe I should. Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, as I always say, you deserve grace. You deserve mercy. Love yourself first, always. Never allow these subhumans to make you feel like you deserve any of this. Never allow these subhumans to normalize any of this. Never allow them to quiet you. Never allow them to dim your light. You deserve grace. You deserve mercy. I'll see you soon, guys.